What is going on, everybody? Well, or happy Tuesday. I hope that everyone is doing well. I am Chris Grant, and welcome to the live Amazon seller Ask Me Anything or Q&A. It's great to have you guys here. We are live from sunny Central Florida. And Juan, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here. Hey, David, what's going on? Luke, good to see you. Oh, always nice to see when the prep center is prep center's firing inventory lab. Interesting. Albana, what is going on? Good to see everybody. If this is your first time here, here's what we do. I answer your questions about Amazon, FBA, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, you name it, and I will try to give you an answer. And we've got about 30 minutes to do it in. I'll also be sharing a little bit of a tip with you. I've got a tip this evening. And yes, I am going to be showing off those organized KPF columns today. So I'm going to show you exactly how I have my Keepa product viewer set up to make the most sense. And then, of course, we will answer any of your questions that you may have. So if you have them, please make sure to drop them in the chat. I can't do my job unless you guys bring it with the questions. So, Juan, did we announce the winner for the Q1 group? They should have been given notice already. We used a software that did it automatically. So we didn't have to I forgot. So they should have been notified. Yes. And I know Lucas said something here, but yeah, Inventory Lab is not having a good time. So I would suggest heading to some of their lives. I know that I got a note from someone today, and they said that it was an all hands on deck thing. And I think that they're trying to work on it, but there are other options out there. There is Boxem, there is Scan Power. There is, Inventory Lab is not the only draw in town. And to be honest, I've not heard good things about this API change from anybody, whether they're a software provider or not. So it's, I would imagine we're in for a little bit of a rough time. Hey, Peter, what is going on? Gina, good to see you. Eric, all right, let's answer this question here. And then actually, we're going to wait a few minutes and see before we hop into Keepa Product Finder here. But Eric, considering accepting an Amazon loan of $25K, I already spent $24K per month across 4 different credit cards. Do you think this loan will really cramp cash flow? It absolutely can cramp cash flow. So you're going to want to be careful. And in the past, I was much more open to Amazon loans because the speed at which we could get inventory into Amazon was a lot faster. So in my opinion, if you take an Amazon loan, and this is exactly what I did the last time I took an Amazon loan, is I spent about 70% of the Amazon loan, and I kept the other 30% to be able to buy me some extra time to allow the items to sell through. Now, I am fairly immune to risk. Now, what I mean by that is if I take a risk and it doesn't pan out, I still pay the consequences, but I don't fear the risk. So if the risk for you makes sense, then I'm all about it. In the big scheme of things, the money is fairly cheap. It's much cheaper than going to a loan shark. But if you have other options, I would try to exhaust those first. Let me give you a couple of other options. Of course, you already know that you can do credit cards. So if you're in a place where you can add a 5th or a 6th credit card, that may be an option. TD Bank has a low doc. It's LOW, a low doc line of credit for businesses. You can give them like 1 year of tax statements, and they will give you up to $100,000 line of credit without much checking. So that could be another option. If you want to go a little bit a slower route, you could go and get an SBA line of credit. It's going to be a bit more paperwork, but Chris Rasick has done that. They gave him like, I don't know, it was like, man, I want to say 50% of his total sales for the last year. So that's another option as well. But if the Amazon loan is your last option, I'm not against them as long as you play it right. Okay. Doug Flips. Can Amazon customers get customer service on chat or call? Can't find anywhere to do it. Yes. In a lot of cases, you're not going to get you're not going to get Amazon on the phone as a customer of Amazon, but there is a chat when you go in and do things. The easiest place to do it, I think, is in the app. Let me open up the app here. Amazon. Let me look for orders. I know you can find it in here somewhere though. Customer service. I might even ask Rufus. Um, yeah, if you ask Rufus as well, customer support chat, you should be able to get that to pull up as well. But yeah, I know it's in there. Yes, it'll take you to, if you ask Rufus, which is Amazon's AI, it'll take you over to the customer support chat that you can get into. So give that a shot. Oh, that I did not realize that they forgot they were at is no good. David, hey Chris, do you know if we can still send in FBA shipments? I've been sourcing ahead not just for Q4 and want to send in some FBA shipments later this week. I was able to send in an FBA shipment yesterday. My prep center was. I don't want to get any. Don't want to get any calluses on these soft hands being behind the keyboard. But my prep center sent in one yesterday. We did have some issues with our hazmat shipment. That one was not able to go in, even though I've got plenty of hazmat space. So, not really sure what's going on there quite yet. But our regular shipment went out with no problem whatsoever. Chris, thanks for the tip a few weeks ago on FBM orders. Team and myself have done 3,853 FBM orders since December 1st. Dude, that is insane. 3,853 merchant fulfilled orders since December the 1st. You are an MFN madman. That is crazy. I'd love to know what tip I gave you that was helpful, but whatever it was, that's amazing. Our tactical arbitrage scan's not very effective. I used to get good results, and now it won't find anything. I'll include site discounts, gift cards, etc., with loose filters. Don't see why matches don't populate. It's going to be different on every single site. The quality of matches that you get. I'd really have to look and see what you're seeing. I started a scan a little bit earlier today. I have not checked on it. I won't check on it until tomorrow morning. But I'll tell you what, David, if you will do me a favor, if you will message me with screenshots of your exact filters, like I need everything down to the smallest detail, and let me recreate what you did in my own account. That way I can give you some help. I'd like to do that for you. So you can message me wherever, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on email preferably. That's chris@cleartheshelf.com. And let me take a gander. Okay. Tactical arbitrage is still effective in my opinion. So, Yeah, but let me take a gander. 20K. Yeah. So sorry, 20K is what Chris said on that line of credit. All right. Peter, anyone else experience this issue? My FBM inventory keeps zeroing out after a sale or two for several ASINs. I have not been able to recreate that on my side, not this entire Q4. Now, granted, I'm not doing a lot of FBM, like less than 10 SKUs are merchant fulfilled. Okay. But I have not seen that happen to me. I do know that other people have had it happen to them. Yes. And sometimes it's because a product goes into like somebody bought it and it's just hanging out there and it'll stay there for several days. Sometimes it's just a mistake and it'll fix itself, and then sometimes it won't. So, got to be very careful fixing those things. Gina, so jealous of US sellers being able to do FBM on large scale. Yeah. I know you guys are getting over a postal strike. I've read about that. And I also know your guys' postal service is crazy expensive. Our postal service uh, is in the red every single year. And our our postmaster general of the United States made a fool of himself by literally covering his ears when he was getting uh, a mouthful from some senator. So not a great look down here either. Oh, beautiful. Tip about FBA cutoff back on October 20th. You said there's going to be a ton of FBM opportunities. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Ah, perfect. Yeah, beat that section 3, man. That's beautiful. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. And of course, and yeah, Matt over on Instagram says sales might be slowing down. They're going to start slowing down a little bit. But is Q4 over? No, no, it's not. Let me tell you guys a story. Yesterday, I had someone buy a CD that I had for sale on Amazon for, it was $29 is what I was selling the CD for, merchant fulfilled. And I had my 2-day shipping set to $29.99 plus like another $1.99 per pound. So they ended up paying pretty close to $70 for 2-day shipping. If you set your FBM up correctly, you are still going to get sales through the end of the week. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did get my first couple of Walmart listings up today. We'll see how it goes. I think I did it right. It looks like they were listed. So we'll see. I have no idea if these things will sell, but we're giving it a shot. All right. SR, how do you calculate your true net profit margin after accounting for Amazon fees, inbound shipping, storage cost, returns, and taxes? So you are going to want to use some real accounting software. Uh, sorry. I see that there's a couple people over on Instagram. I will get to you. Sorry, they don't. It does. Instagram does not pull over into my StreamYard, so I'll get over there. I promise. Okay. Um, but you're gonna. So, how do you calculate your true net profit margin? You're gonna need to use some real accounting software. You're gonna need to use something like QuickBooks. Okay, and put in all of your cost, all of your fees, all of your fixed costs, everything, and then get yourself a P&L at the end of every month so you can know what your true net profit margins are. But here's another thing, okay? As not just an inventory based business, but as a business owner in general, I really think you're only going to get directional numbers. Like, I don't think even the people who are the most meticulous, I still think that there's going to be some things that are off. All right. So um, take that into account as well. All right. Uh, Ollie, did you use Arbasource? Is it good? I've never used Arbasource. I've heard about it. I- I've used a couple of different arbitrage softwares. None of them have been able to beat tactical arbitrage yet. Could that happen in the future? Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very possible. But as of right now, they have not. All right. Tactical arbitrage versus Nepedo or Nepedo. Tactical arbitrage. It is better than Nepedo. Merrily, I have someone acting as a warehouse, shipping only one product from Florida for me. Then the rest of my MF products I ship from Michigan, including the same product. That's okay. I'm not getting many orders from the states around Florida. Was there a way to remind Amazon that I'm stocking the product in Florida? Um, that is a thinker. I don't know. I know that you could put in a secondary warehouse into your ship from addresses, but I don't know that you can say, hey, this set of my inventory is being shipped from that warehouse. So I don't think you can do that. Help. I made some bad buys. Should I just tank the price? So it depends how old these things are. Okay. So I typically don't like tank the price, like tank it until we're at about 90 days out. Now that may change. We may go to 60 days to try to tighten up how quickly inventory turns over. Um, but if you need to get any capital back, yes, it's okay to tank the price. Like it's okay to have bad buys. You just want the majority of your buys to be good buys. But if you need to get rid of them, the easiest way is likely going to be to bring your price down. And don't feel bad about it. Like that's business. That happens. We make bad decisions. We make bad buys. Get as much capital back as you possibly can, and then reinvest it and make the money back. And the reason you may want to get as much capital back as you can now is because you don't know whether or not the price tanks even further. And then it makes it even harder to reinvest that to make it back and restore you to 100%. Do you know what happened to the book market? I know that there were restock limits placed, which big booksellers, but is it still viable to send in 3 to 10 units FBA? Yep, as far as I know. Matter of fact, I've got some books going in very soon. So, and we were able to say, I think we did about 10 units of books that I just bought. So, um, yeah, I think you can send them in, no problem. Sal, what's going on, man? Sal is an old friend from when I was drop shipping. You should absolutely hop on Walmart, man. You would do very, very well. Hasbro. So yesterday you talked about not buying so many units of a certain ASIN that sell a lot. For example, 100 plus, maybe even 50 units. So if it sells out, do you just move on to the next product, like search for it? If not, how much do you buy if it's a replen? We will sometimes go a little bit deeper if it's a replen and the fundamentals of the product look good. But still, I don't want to ever have on hand more than 30 days worth. So let's say, for example, that on the first round, I buy 10 units, and let's say they all get checked in. It's a perfect world, and I sell out all 10 in one day. Well, in the next round, I might pick up 30. And if the price is staying the same, I'm making the same profit, all of that. If those 30 sell out in 3 days, well, now I've got a little bit more of a baseline. And maybe instead of 30, if I can get my hand on 60 or something like that, that might be my next replenishment. Okay. And I'm always testing. And if the fundamentals stay good there, then I might go a little bit deeper, but I'm probably never going to buy incredibly deep, because you never know when something might happen. And so we we have this fear of missing out as people. Fear of missing out is one of the biggest drivers of people. Period. Okay, goes back to our lizard brain, and fear of missing out on that next meal. Might be the thing that kills us, and so it's ingrained in us. All right. However, if you can overcome that mammalian sensation to not miss out on some money, and you're willing to leave a little bit of money on the table, you protect yourself from black swan events. You protect yourself from the unknowns, okay? Because let's say that on my fourth replenishment, I'm like, you know what? I sold these 60 within a week. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy like 240, and hopefully that will take me through an entire month. Well, what happens if those 240 get checked in and then immediately they go to stranded and the ASIN is hard gated, restricted? I cannot sell it, and there's no way to get ungated. Well, now I've got 240 units that I've got to find another place for. Now, is there eBay? Is there Walmart? Yes, but I don't know if they're actually selling well over there. So I would rather, have 30 units stranded that I've got to deal with. And sure, I left some money on the table each other time, but I've protected myself from the unknown. Okay, and that's what's happening to a lot of people right now. They have bought a lot of inventory. They've gone very, very deep on a particular brand or a particular ASIN, and then they get screwed, and it sucks. Oh, Sal, I appreciate you, man. I really do, dude. If you're ever in Florida, Sal, you got to hit me up. I'll buy you a steak dinner, man. I've been using Arbisource, but you think I should switch over to tactical arbitrage? I'll tell you what, I'm not going to tell you to move away from something that is working for you. Okay. That would be unfair of me to do. So if you're happy with what you're using, then you should stick with it. However, most softwares come with a free trial. All right. I know you can get one with tactical arbitrage. I've got a code out there somewhere for some extra time on tactical arbitrage. Give it a spin, see what you think, and if it's not for you, then put it up. But maybe even wait until January. Like, it may not be the right time right now to try out a brand new software. You got so many other irons in the fire right now. Okay, bear with me just a second, guys. I want to share my screen so that I can share this information with you guys. I've got to keep it pretty tight this evening because my wife already has dinner ready, and I don't want to be late. Okay, so let me pop this a little larger here. I promised I would share what I think a Keepa product viewer should look like. And if you don't know what this is this is when you set your Keepa product filters, okay, and you click find products, the Keepa product viewer is what you see. All right, so you've got an image and a title. I always keep these to the left. Matter of fact, you can move those, but image and title, these should go to the very left. I want to be able to see the picture of the item. I want to see the title of the product, and when I hover over the title, I want to see that Keepa graph down in the bottom right hand corner. And here's the reason. I can see the picture. If I happen to be sourcing this item, I know what it should look like on the source site. If I hover over this right here, okay, what does the price history look like? I keep mine to 120 days in the price history. Is Amazon on it? What does the price look like? Is it fluctuating up and down, etc.? So I can make a very quick decision if I want to look deeper. Okay. Amazon gives us the bought in the past 30 days. So I go ahead and I pull this up here. If Amazon's going to give us this data, I might as well look at it. It gives me a good indication of what this is doing. All right. What's the 90-day change in the number of units sold? This one right here is showing a 1% drop. All right. So let's go ahead and open this up. What does that mean? And we're not going to have time to go through all of this here. But what does that mean? It means it was at 500 and now it's down to 400. Okay. So it's dropped a little bit, not trending down in a major way, but this one looks to be trending down 25% over the past 90 days. Still not a ton, 4,000 down to 3,000, but it's still 25%. Okay. Not a huge deal when it's 3 to 4,000 units a month. But if it was 100 units a month and it's dropping 25 or even 81% like this private label seller, I might be getting a little worried. And do I want to hop on a product where the number of sales is trending down? Okay. No, probably not, because when the supply stays the same or goes up while the velocity or the demand goes down, well, we know what happens. That's where we get into the pinch, as Chris calls it, and we don't want to be there. Okay. Then I have my sales rank up here, my current 30-day, 90-day, 180-day average, and then my drops. What is this looking like long term? Is there a trend here? This one, okay, we look at this one here that's highlighted. I can see that it's trending down. All right. It's 7-day drop, 30-day drop. This means that it's getting better. Well, it was ranked number 4 on average. Now it's ranked number 1. These are good. Green is good when it comes to sales rank drops. Okay. I want to see what category it's in. This is in appliances. Then I want to look at the buy box. What's the buy box doing currently over the last 30, 90, 180 days? And then I've got my drops here so I can see what's the trend look like. This trend is nice and flat. This trend here, it means it's trending down. The price is coming down a bit. Now, this is another private label product, but that's not the way I want my prices to be trending if I'm going to hop on a listing. I really want to see some more red on the price trends, okay? And it'll let me know. Here we go. 21% increase, 17, 2%, 3%. This is where I like my prices trending if I'm going to hop on a listing, okay? Can't hop on that one. That one's private label. All right. Next up, I want to see the availability of the buy box. All right. Just see whether it's in stock or not. What's the stock count look like if it's available? Okay. Is the buy box currently FBA? These are not deal breakers for me, just nice information to look at pretty quickly. How many FBA offers are there? How many FBM offers are there that are buy box eligible? How many people am I going to have to compete against on this particular product? Is the buy box unqualified or suppressed? Who's the buy box seller at the moment? All right. Is it Amazon? Am I competing up against Woot? Or is it look at this, CJ Distribution? Sorry if this is you, but 30% positive over the last year. I'll compete against you all day long. All right. What about, is Amazon on the listing? And if they are, what does their prices look like over the past 30 and 90 days and currently? Okay. And how's it trending? What kind of stock do they have if that's available? All right. Take these numbers with a grain of salt. The 90-day out of stock percentage of Amazon, I want to see that. I also want to look at the new third-party FBA. Is that price trending up or down, sideways, flat? New third-party sellers. This is all third-party sellers, whether new or FBM. New third-party FBA, and I'll take a quick glance here, but typically I'm competing for the buy box. So this is just to verify that everything looks good. All right. What does the new offer count look like? Is it trending up or is it trending down or is it staying flat? All right. This one right here, for example, I really like these. All right. 42 on average over the last 180, 45 over the last 90, 40 over the last 30, currently 29 sellers. All right. Less competition is good. I like to see this kind of trend. What is the price trending? The price for the new sellers is trending upwards. All right. 156, 150, 159. All right. Not too bad. Amazon is trending up in price. Well, that's Woot. Okay. It's got the buy box right now. Buy box looks to be trending up a little bit compared to the last 30-day average. So I'm curious about this one. Okay. It's an Apple iPad. I can't sell that. All right. Then new third-party FBM, new offer count. I'll look at the number of reviews and what the reviews look like. Okay, is the review count going up or is it going down? If it's going down a significant amount, that'll let me know whether or not maybe it was orphaned. Okay. What do the pick and pack fees look like? Not a huge deal, but it shows the information. So I'll take a look at it. How long has it been on Amazon? This thing's been on Amazon for over 4 years. That's good to know. Okay. I like to see the Amazon URL so I can pop these open pretty quickly if I want to. I've also got the Keepa URL in here if I'd like to do that. So I can pop this open nice and quickly without having to necessarily open the Keepa link on this page. All right. What's the root category of this product? What's the UPC, the ASIN? I like to see if there's a parent ASIN, also all the variation ASINs, and then frequently bought together because sometimes we can use these to help us with rabbit trails. All right. And then I have a little other information like what's the variation attributes? What is the size of the item? How much does it weigh? Is it hazmat? All right. Is it heat sensitive or is it meltable? And then what kind of hazardous material is it? Well, this product here has got a lithium ion battery. So that lets me know how I might need to ship it. Okay. This one here says it's a refrigerating unit. This one may have some sort of, what is that stuff called? R30 in it. Okay. So I needed to ship that differently. All right. And then give me a little idea. And that's how I have mine set up. Try to give you as much information as you might possibly need, maybe to the point of overkill, but try to keep all the super important information here at the front. Sales velocity, what the pricing is looking like in the buy box. Is there a buy box? What does the stock look like? How many offers am I looking at? And who am I competing against for the buy box right now? Every now and again, there's a seller right here that I know I just don't want to compete against. All right. All right. Let me get back to answering a couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap this up very, very quickly. Let me start with Instagram. Worth a mention here, you could zoom out at least on a tool like Smart Scout and see whether the category as a whole is trending down or not. If it's not, I wouldn't dispel the product as quickly. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. That's a good point. I have Smart Scout as well. We just don't go into it very much, but we're going to get to it here pretty soon. Okay, I'm going to run through these as quickly as I possibly can. Thoughts on selling products only found in other countries. Example, buying from Australia, selling in the US. I am less afraid of buying products in other countries and selling them in the US than I am of buying them in the US and selling them on other marketplaces. So I would still say that you should be careful. Could you walk us through the entire sequence, step by step, of how you organize and maintain your documents for a product from start to finish? Not in 30 minutes, no. However, for those of you who are here Thursday night, I am going to be doing a webinar on how to beat a Section 3. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, okay? The link is in the video description on YouTube. Get registered. I think we've got 500 spots available. These kind of softwares to run webinars is expensive, all right? Get registered. There only are 500 spots. I would imagine with the email I've got going out later, we're going to get those pretty filled up. From your beauty selling experience, what are your thoughts on imported beauty products with no English on the label? I've received a no impact ding for it, but it seems inconsistent. It does seem inconsistent. Those ones worry me the most. I've passed over a lot of brands that have only Korean on them. I've passed over a lot of brands that have like only French on them because I do worry about someone, thinking there's a mistake or something like that. How long will you keep products that aren't selling well before removing the listing and trying another platform? I'm typically not trying them on another platform if they're not moving on Amazon at all. I'm typically liquidating because it's probably a price issue. And it's not very often that you're going to get a higher price and velocity on a place like eBay or Walmart. You might get higher prices on Walmart, I doubt you're going to get the velocity, especially since it's a $10 billion marketplace compared to Amazon's $400 billion marketplace. And eBay is a $78 billion gross merchandise volume marketplace compared to Amazon's, 400 and some billion for third-party sellers. So and plus that seems like a lot of work. You're not going to win every single time. You're just trying to win 70% or better. Do you use Sheets to store your leads? And if so, would you share how you have them set up? Brandy is just trying to get a look at my leads. No, I'm kidding, Brandy. We do use Google Sheets. We also use CheddarSoft. We could talk about how leads get stored another time, but not tonight. Chris, why do too many sellers like Walgreens flip products? I'm struggling with that store. Not sure if I'm missing something. What's the best way to source Walgreens? The best way to source any store is to lower your cost of goods as much as humanly possible. Try to find the coupons that other people are not finding, or be willing to wait out those initial price tankers to get your price back. All right, guys, that we're going to have to stop it there. All right. I can hear my family sitting down to dinner. I promised them I'd get out of here on time, and I'm already late. If I missed your question, bring it back tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Wednesday, December 18th. I will be doing this all over again. SR, I appreciate that super sticker, man. Thank you so much. Also, make sure to register for the webinar. It is down in the video description on YouTube. I will also be sending out an email tonight. It is going, those seats are going to fill up. We're going to absolutely teach everyone how to beat their Section 3s as well as we possibly can. It's not going to be a 100% hit rate. We know some people who haven't been able to beat them, but most people who have used our method have been able to get through, and a lot of people are speed running them in less than a week. All right. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Have a great evening. I hope you guys go hug your family. All right. You spend enough time packing boxes, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. Take it easy, everybody.